House of Representatives has asked the Minister of Works, David Umahi, to immediately revoke the contract for the construction of the flooded East-West Road and other contracts and re-award same to a company with expertise and capacity. This followed a motion on the need to revoke the contract for the construction of flooded sections of the East-West Road connecting major communities in Bayelsa State, moved by Honorable Obok of Fojo during the plenary in Abuja. And moving the motion, Fojo stated that the East-West Road is one of the important roads in Federation, which has significantly contributed to the country's economic and social development. It connects major regions, facilitating trade, commerce, and cultural exchange, thus improving access to markets, industries, and social services. He further explained that the Federal Ministry of Works awarded the contract for the construction of the box culverts for the repairs of the flooded sections of the East-West Road, as Kayama-Aoda section, to a company that has failed to execute the contract, causing traffic disruptions and loss of lives. The East-West Road construction topic has been in the news for a very long time. It has, there have been various talks about it, meetings, conferences, this being mentioned, that being mentioned, or will complete the East-West Road. And this is actually a project that has been on for decades. Yes, Dr. John.
On Saturday, not the immediate past, the upper week Saturday, I traveled to Yenagoa. I almost wept. We were in that traffic for close to 1.5 hours. That's a distance between here to Brikwere. I started wondering, in 2022, there was, I think that was the highest flood we have ever seen. There was flood. Now the question is, why will government, after the flood, why will government wait until 2 years after? And such a contract, from what I saw there, I think those contractors are not better than ordinary carpenters. You see, the East-West Road, the importance of that road cannot be overemphasized. It is the only artery linking Nigeria to the core of the Nigeria's hydrocarbon industry. You have Delta State, you have Edo State, you have Delta, you have Ondo State, Ondo to produces oil, and so on. Now, I begin to wonder why the federal government is not taking this oil producing area seriously. I'm not talking of just Niger Delta, we are producing, no. But this is where we are the people laying the golden egg. And that is the only road. We load the tankers and so on, take their products for onward distribution to the end users. It is not just enough to cancel that contract. I think if I'm in a position to call the youths in 1998, we did what we call the Kayama Declaration. They should not tempt some of us to begin to gather the youths to do another declaration or mass protest. It is sad that a lady giving birth to children is not even given a cup of tea to drink, whereas other people, no.
Why do you think it took this long for the contracts for talks to come up about the contracts being revoked and given to another company?
One thing with government is political will. See, if the government wishes to turn this house into a 10-story building, in the next 6 months to 1 year, they can achieve that. Yes. If the federal government was actually ready to, put in her best to ensure that that East-West Road is well constructed, they know who to give the contract to. In Nigeria today, although in Germany, Julius Berger may well be the 10th best construction company, but in Nigeria, Julius Berger I think is in terms of road construction, it is top notch. Why not hand over this thing to Julius Berger rather than giving it to CCECC? Because we have taken a lot of loan from China, up to maybe 81, 83 trillion naira.
So you feel that's why the contract was awarded?
Of course, those are some of the unseen, those are some of the hidden conditions. Remember, I wrote a paper on Nigeria's loans, the Chinese loans and how they affect our economy. Do you know that some of those loans were taken, some of these agreements are written without disclosing the conditions. They call it the confidentiality clause. Again, part of the loan will say, look, as we have given you this loan, in turn you are going to give us the oil cheaply. There are some
Dr. John, you keep making this particular statement. Do you have facts?
There are facts now. As I told you, I've written a paper on it.
Do you have facts?
Look at Lekki deep sea port.
Not just saying there are facts. Do you have facts?
If I don't have facts, remember I'm a researcher.
Because you keep saying they are on. Okay, I understand if you say there might be an undertone to it, or there might be an agreement.
Even the National Assembly.
You're stating
look at it
outrightly.
Look at it. In 2021, even 2022, yes, even the National Assembly raised alarm concerning those conditions. It is there. I'm not just. It's not just a hearsay. Look at a good example. The Lekki deep sea port. It's China's money that is here. You know, most people who do not know will say, oh, Tinubu or the Lagos State. It's not the Lagos State government.
It's not really about...
It's China's $3.2 billion US dollars.
What I'm talking about is not the fact that we borrowed from China. That's not what
Yes.
It's saying, oh, they said, give us all your oil for free so that this and that can happen.
Those are the things that are there. Are you aware?
Explaining.
Are you aware that...
So much detail.
Are you aware that China... at a level, China is even overpowering America. Do you know that Chinese police stations are in New York? Are you also aware that they are at the point of establishing their own police stations in Nigeria?
How does that correspond with...
They have to come...
saying, give us free oil and all of that.
Now, the point is, these people have given you so much loans.
Okay.
With a very long moratorium period of 11 to 20 years when you pay off that loan. But there are clauses in that law, the default clause. There's also what they call the cost default clause. I am very into Nigeria-China diplomacy. Let's discuss the road. So what I'm saying is that instead of giving such roles to Julius Berger, I know Julius Berger is more expensive.
More, you mean better hands? Now.
Yes, better hands, like Julius Berger. I'm specific. I'm not advertising Julius Berger.
Let's work with
the point is, the point is that I have grown to, since I was small, and I've grown to know Julius Berger as the best construction company in Nigeria. But you know, for political reasons.
For all the adverts you have done, Dr. John, we're not going to let you go.
For better, let's get better companies to handle that job. What they are doing between Okome and the Ibiama there is rubbish, complete rubbish. Do you know that on our way back on Sunday, we had to take a bush road into Uduekpe and came out at Olokobo before we were able to find our way. So I don't know why the federal government treats the Niger Delta
That brings about my question.
Yes.
I asked you earlier. Why did it take this long? We've not had only one. We've not had that's just one administration. We've had various administrations ever since this road has been under construction. And this has been a big problem in Nigeria. And for years now, if you want to mention one of the issues or some of the issues that we have in Nigeria, you always mention the East-West road as one of the big problems, because look at this story talking about lives being lost. That's not something that should be taken lightly when lives have been involved. And then it's disrupting trade practices. That is also a big
kidnappings.
problem. Because we're talking about the economy here and the state of the economy. So my question is, why did it take this long for us to think of withdrawing this contract from this particular company and then giving it to better hands who can handle it?
Well, while we are advocating that the contract should be given to a better person, let me give you one reason. The Niger Delta, that East-West road has become a thing of politics. See, when people are exploiting you, they don't want to open your eyes. Do you know that the militancy thing in the Niger Delta only started during the Abacha period, when Niger Delta youths were invited to see Abuja? When they went there, saw big roads, wide roads, you know, well-paid houses and so on. They came back and said, no, we can no longer take it again. Then they now started their militancy. So the point here is that this road, the power brokers and the cabal must play politics with this road. If they tell this road very well, and people can have access to their communities easily, it will be very easy for them to develop, even if government is not there, it will be very easy for them to develop themselves. I am from Nimbe. Today, there's no road from Nimbe now. There's no road from Nimbe to any nearby community.
Now let's look at the communities that are affected and the states that are affected by the state of
all the states.
How much do you think they have done?
The problem with Nigeria is that the moment they say this is a federal road, the states will no longer own it up. Even if it is just to patch a bad spot, the states will not do it. They say, after all, this is federal road. But I think that was why the last time we met, I suggested that the Brace Commission, comprising the 6 Niger South states, can come together, put resources together. Way back in 2005, I was a manager in NDDC then. The coastal road was, they did a costing. At that time, it was 270 billion. Remember that even the so-called coastal road they are going to do now, they will play politics with it. Some are now saying they should cancel it. Some are saying they should abrogate the contract. Some are saying they should continue. There is that same problem. Because they do not want the Niger Delta to develop. If that road is clean and well paved, look at it. We have ports in One. We have Bonny, it's a port. Brass should be a port. You have Gelegele in Edo State, a port. You have Warri ports. Do you know that if all these ports are opened up, Lagos will recede to the backwaters of modernity.
Why does it seem like these governors of these states around, or these states have been kind of quiet or silent towards the construction of these roads, having in mind that it is seriously affecting their own activities and them directly?
It is not the governors alone that are keeping quiet. So many other stakeholders are keeping quiet. But I think to some extent, the governors have also made enough noise. Remember, during the time of Olusegun Obasanjo, we made a lot of noise such that NDDC was created. Today, NDDC, as a commission, I was on the completion team of the master plan, but NDDC as a commission has automatically derailed from the purpose it was established. They now fix a solar light and so on. NDDC was created to, embark on projects that will economically integrate this region. But they have forgotten about that. They are now doing concrete roads, clearing of water hyacinths, this solar water.
And what is being done about that?
That is why some of us are telling them to go back and begin to implement the master plan. So the Niger, any development effort by the federal government in the Niger Delta is a thing of politics. Why? They don't want us to grow. By the time this place is opened up, our airports will be bigger than that of Tinkan Island and so on. The deep sea port in Agay, Governor Dixon made some effort, with a view to, opening up the deep sea port. But the states alone, of course, ports, issues of ports, it's not the state government that owns it. It's on the federal or the exclusive list of subjects. So the federal government will not want us to open up these ports, because they want us to remain in darkness for as long as we agree.
How long do we want to remain there?
And that is why even as I'm talking now, don't you see I'm protesting?
All right.
It's part of the protest.
Obviously protesting.
I'm protesting.
Dr. John.